Let's turn attention to judicial matters. Leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has opted to defend himself in his ongoing terrorism trial at the Federal High Court in Abuja. This development follows the withdrawal of his lead counsel, Kanu Agabi, and other senior advocates in his legal team. We have details in this report.
At Thursday's proceedings, Kanu Agabi SEN, who had led Kanu's legal team, announced his withdrawal from the case along with other senior advocates in the team. Mr. Agabi explained that their withdrawal was because the defendant has taken them off the case and they respect the decision. He named other senior advocates withdrawing from the case to include Onyechi Piazzo SEN, Joseph Akobo SEN, Paul Erokoro SEN, Emeka Etiaba SEN, and one other. Following Mr. Agabi's announcement, Justice James Omotosho turned to Mr. Kanu, who was in the dark, for his response. He confirmed sacking all his lawyers and told the court that he was willing and ready to conduct his own defense. Justice Omotosho then ordered other members of the defendant's legal team present in court, except the SEN, to vacate the courtroom immediately. The judge thereafter asked the defendant to open his case. Mr. Kanu began by challenging the jurisdiction of the court to continue his trial, but he was overruled by the judge, who insisted he must proceed with his defense. At this point, Mr. Piazzo drew the court's attention to the fact that the withdrawal took effect that morning and urged the court to allow Mr. Kanu a few moments to gather his thoughts and prepare. The prosecution did not object, prompting Justice Omotosho to adjourn the case till Friday, October 24, for Kanu to open his defense.
A number of us has decided to conduct his defense by himself. He has a right to do so. We respect that decision, and we wish him well going forward. That's all.
Mr. Kanu had earlier submitted a list of witnesses he intends to call in his defense, including the Minister of the FCT, former Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, and Governor of Imo State, among others.
Speaking earlier today on TVC News at 1, legal practitioner Liberus Oshoma reacted to the decision of detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu to dismiss his defense team. Mr. Oshoma mentions that while Mr. Kanu has the constitutional right to represent himself in court, he will eventually need the services of a lawyer due to the legal and procedural technicalities involved in such a case.
I doubt if really Kanu is ready to open a defense in the matter. So the judge, if care is not taken, the judge might just go ahead, to foreclose his defense and go ahead to deliver judgment for.
Mr. Oshoma, the idea that people have, I know you're talking about the judge might just go ahead to foreclose his defense, but some people think that this may force the federal government to drop the case if his defense drags on. I hear you laughing, but do you share that thought?
No, look, let me tell you the way it works. If the prosecution drags on, you've heard of this word, lack of diligent prosecution, lack of diligent prosecution. Like, matter can be struck out for lack of diligent prosecution. But in this case, what we have, in this case here, what we have is not a case of lack of diligent prosecution. All we have is not a case of lack of diligent prosecution. So the prosecution has closed their case. It is for you to open your defense, and the defense cannot be open-ended. Defense cannot be open-ended. Certainly, there's a time for you to, like I said, the defense cannot be open-ended. There's a time.